Jean-Claude Todibo, 23 years of age, looks like he's aging to the Premier League. 2-3 teams are interested in him, but this time around looks like Spurs are really leading the rest to sign Todibo and obviously introduce him into their squad. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. This is a transfer news show. We are talking Todibo, we are talking Lenglet, and we are talking Riyad Mahrez, explaining to us how it was hard for him to make a decision to leave Manchester City, to go to Saudi Arabia, and obviously play the game of football that side. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're only watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. But Todibo is the key point that we're gonna hate to talk about, and guess who is in lead of this story? It has been Fabrizio Romano, as very many others, by the way, went ahead to obviously put up this story way back, and I really went ahead to do this story, I think, on my sister channel, Rokani. So it's United Matters channel, and I went ahead to do it because it was really a story making some good rounds onto social media, and I decided to obviously do this. Now, who is Jean-Claude Todibo? Jean-Claude Todibo is a central defender who plays for the French national team, and he plays for the club known as Nice that are really doing well, and is one of those defenders that have been scouted by very many teams. One of the teams that first scouted Todibo was Man United, and they wanted to sign him way back, in the summer, but because the money was not enough, they went ahead to obviously put up with a stopgap signing of the stopgap signing of what's the name of the guy? That is John Evans, who is really experienced and a good one, but you wouldn't like to obviously be having a player into your ilk like that guy. But when you look at Jean-Claude Todibo, he's really a proven guy. And is gonna hate to obviously do a lot of sports. Now, who broke this story? It was a guy called Nice Martins. I think he's so close to the club of Nice, and he told us that Tottenham Hotspur have Jean-Claude Todibo in their agenda ahead of upcoming January transfer window, and are one of the clubs particularly watching the player ahead of the market reopening in the new year. He was the guy who really broke this story, and very many others went ahead to obviously go ahead and really put up very many stories. The Mail had something to say about the story of this guy, and the Mail Sport also went ahead to confirm the story of this guy, and they told us the following: that Tottenham Hotspur have held further talks over a potential move for £35 million Nice defender Jean-Claude Todibo, who is keen to join Ange Postecoglou at Tottenham Hotspur. So that is a story that really came in through from the Mail, and Ninza Kinsella went ahead and really put up this article. How does it read? All right, he went ahead and obviously put up this article about Jean-Claude Todibo, and he told us that Tottenham Hotspur have joined Manchester United and Liverpool in the race to sign Jean-Claude Todibo in January. He's available for £39 million. So, as I told you, Man United were at the forefront to sign this guy, but they failed to raise the amount of money to sign him, and they really decided to bring in John Evans. But today, Fabrizio Romano is going to hate to give us a very huge update. Sometimes you need what we call a litmus test confirmation, and Fabrizio Romano and David Austin are really one of those that do those confirmations. And he has gone ahead and told us that understand Tottenham have now opened talks to sign Jean-Claude Todibo in January. He's high on Tottenham Hotspur list. Not easy deal with Nice, but talks now starting. Spurs spoke also to players camp in the recent days. Todibo remains also on Man United list since June. So Tottenham Hotspur are really want to sign Todibo. Why? You remember that time when that time when they really got a red card for Christian Romero. They saw Van der Ven really get a hamstring injury. They really looked shite, and they were thin in that central defense area. You saw they had to play Davies. Sometimes Højbjerg was played in the central defense. Looks like Eric Dyer is not trusted by the manager. So they're looking to back it a little bit and really find a solution to that. But if they get this guy, they would have gone ahead to get themselves a very decent centre back, because he is really proven highly. And for those that really support Arsenal who watching this channel, this guy, the French national team, Didier Deschamps, rates him highly than William Saliba. So it shows you his quality. I've seen him play. He's a quality guy, tall, physical, press resistant, and is a modern centre back. But with Man United in line of this, you really worry. One will say, but where are United going to get the money? But do you know who is the owner of Nice? The owner of Nice is the new 25% majority share holder of Man United. That is Sir Jim Ratcliffe. And he wouldn't like a player like that Manchester United wants to obviously move out to Tottenham Hotspur. He would stand in the way and block the move of Todibo. And when you look at how Nice are really performing this season, they are vying for the league. You get? They are vying for the league. So, if they are vying for the league, would you sell your best player, you get? Your best player who is going to win you a league, you know, to Tottenham Hotspur and weaken yourself? Or you would keep him and obviously sell him to the summer? Or you would really sell him to a team that you have a 25% ownership in, that your manager Erik ten Hag really loves? And when you look at Todibo, he has gonna hate to see his team concede only 9 goals. In 17 games, Todibo is gonna hate to put up a very huge performance. And PSG are really starting to put up a gap of 5, you know. PSG is having 40 points, Nice is having 35, but all we have to understand is simple. Todibo is really one of those that are gonna hate to put up a show. And he's really performing very, very, very well. He's not an injury-prone player. That's why Spurs is interested in him. And I know Ange has to strengthen during the January transfer window because they have money for Harry Kane with them, and the budget they used to spend was already there for them to spend, and they might see themselves really moving on very many players for these players obviously coming through and obviously do the needful for the side of Tottenham Hotspur. So that's about Jean-Claude Todibo, but we don't know how it's going to unfold. Will Sir Jim Ratcliffe let the player go to Tottenham Hotspur yet? Even Erik ten Hag loves him. That's where the big hinge is, and we're waiting to see how this will unfold. Then, let's go to another story from Fabrizio Romano, as Aston Villa will speak to Clement Lenglet's camp before the end of the month in order to discuss January exit, considering likely. Barcelona will also be involved in the decision. AC Milan remain keen, but still wanting to understand loan conditions. So, Clement is a defender. Yeah, he's a defender from Barcelona. You get? You know? He's a French professional footballer who plays a centre-back for Premier League side Aston Villa. And they really want to see to it that they make this permanent. And very many other teams are really interested in him, and they really want to keep him. So, when you look at Aston Villa, they need more players. If they are going to compete for the league, they need more players. Remember, they are still playing into the UEFA Europa League. They are still playing into the FA Cup. And there comes the Premier League. So they need to balance those 3 competitions. And to balance them, you need to be having a very competent squad that can obviously take you to where you deserve to be as a side. And for a team of Aston Villa, you know how good they are, and they are playing their game tomorrow. And if at all they win, they are going to go on top of the Premier League table. And they need to obviously see to it that they really get Lenglet in here and see how everything really goes, you know, goes through. So they want to obviously see him leave, and when he leaves, they'll get a replacement. With Mings in, I think Mings is going to have to put up a very good response to treatment, and they believe that in January is going to be available because Lenglet is a left-footed centre-back, and Mings is also a left-footed centre-back. So if at all Mings is on his way back, then that central defence will really have a lot of fuel in it, because when Mings returns, that means they'll be having 3 left-footed centre-backs, of which you cannot be having 3, yet 2 are really enough. Pau Torres is also a left-footed centre-back, and they'll welcome him back in a lot of happiness. So Lenglet might see himself move to AC Milan. So that's it from Aston Villa, and let's really sum it up with something coming in from Riyad Mahrez, who was not even able to play against Man City because he was with a team where they won the Champions League, and they went ahead to to really do the needful. Then Riyad Mahrez down in Saudi Arabia said, "It wasn't an easy decision to leave Man City after 5 years. I still had 2 years on my contract. The manager, everybody at the club wanted me to stay. It was a difficult situation. At the end, I thought it was best for me and my family." And as I've always gone ahead to let you know that a staunch Muslim that comes in from an Arab world, that is Riyad Mahrez, when a team in Saudi Arabia knocks on the door, trust me, he cannot say no. He cannot say no, and he will just continue to let you know that everything is possible. So he left Man City and is playing down in Saudi Arabia, and he is really doing great there. And he went ahead to obviously dine with the Man City team there yesterday, and Man City is going to play the final, I think, tomorrow. After that, they'll fly back to England and prepare for their after Christmas games. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Tell me your thoughts about Todibo to Spurs talks in high gear. I welcome in the comment section below. What do you make about Lenglet quitting Aston Villa? And lastly, Riyad Mahrez on why he left the side of Man City. I cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ. May the living to God bless you abundantly. The Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum. We out for now. See you later, my mates.